Today we're going to make a ginger sweet potato bisque. This sweet potato bisque is a special occasion kind of soup that you would have when you're ready for something a little bit creamy and rich. And it's also really fast to make. This is all about how we can be healthy and have it done quickly. And so that's what this recipe fulfills on. What I love about the main ingredient is that it's really rich in beta carotene and potassium. And these are one of the highest foods in vitamin A. And so sweet potato, this is a raw sweet potato that's organically grown. And so I've kept the skin on, I've scrubbed it really well, but I want the skin because there's a lot of nutrients in the skin. And this recipe is going to be done in the Vitamix. You do need a high-powered blender to make this soup. So whatever high-powered blender you have, we're gonna use about 2 cups of sweet potato, and then we're gonna use about 1.5 cups of pine nuts. Pine nuts, come to find out, are actually appetite suppressants. Can you imagine a food that tastes as good as pine nuts being an appetite suppressant? That's pretty incredible. But they are very high in calories. Both those ingredients are incredibly rich and very high in calories. And here I'm using something that it's really delicious. It's coconut water. This is from a fresh coconut. I would highly recommend using fresh coconuts, not pasteurized coconuts. This is going to give it a sweetness, and it's also going to give it electrolytes, minerals that we need. So now is when the soup gets really interesting. We're going to add, well actually before it gets really interesting, I want to add the leek. I almost forgot about that. We're going to add about a tablespoon of leek. And you don't really need to chop it much, but when I used to cook soups, I used to use leeks as a base, either for the stock, but also sautéed leeks, as a base for the rest of the ingredients before I added the broth. And so here we're going to add leeks. You could always use onion. I've done that before, but leeks actually provide a really nice, delicate flavor. So I really prefer leeks if you have them in your garden, or you can get them at your local grocery store. So here's where the soup gets really interesting. We're going to add the spices. Now I love the combination of spices. The biggest combination that's unique is ginger and fenugreek. So ginger, it's kind of spicy, aids in digestion, lowers blood pressure, and fenugreek. It's a really nice combination and rather unusual. We've got about a teaspoon of freshly peeled and chopped ginger, and I'm going to get about a teaspoon of fenugreek. Fenugreek are going to aid in digestion, regulate blood sugar, because there is some sugar in this soup with the sweet potato. And then we're going to add some cumin. Cumin is incredible, helps with diabetes and also digestion. The Indians use cumin, or as they call it, jeera, in a ton of recipes, just about everything. Well, that's an over-exaggeration. And then I like to give a little bit of spice. If you don't like spice, then please omit this ingredient, but I'm gonna use a little bit of cayenne. I'm actually gonna use a lot of cayenne. I like it a little bit spicy. And since we're not using salt, and this is something that's a little bit of a secret in raw vegan cuisine, that cayenne actually helps to kind of make flavors pop. Oftentimes we use salt to do that, but cayenne actually helps to do that too. And then in place of salt, since we're not using salt, we're going to use Dulse. Come to find out, just in 3.5 ounces of Dulse, there's 21.5 grams of protein. This stuff is packed full of nutrients. Not only that, but it's really rich in magnesium and potassium, as well as iron. What's so important about iron is that it's a transporter of oxygen. So it carries oxygen around our body. So the more we can help our bodies do that, the better our circulation is going to be, the stronger our immune system is going to be, and the healthier we're going to become, so we can fight against disease and have radiant health, which is immune to disease, or at least I'm aiming for that. So now basically we just blend it. So I'm going to turn this on. So you want to add enough water so it gets to desired consistency. I mean, it is a bisque, so we want it to be nice and thick. So I'm going to go ahead and just pour it in this bowl. And it's very rich. And Then we're gonna just top it with your toppings of choice. I mean, I chose fenugreek seeds just because I thought that was a really fun and interesting flavor to highlight. And a few little sprigs of cilantro, just to kind of give it that green color. I always love to create as many different flavors and textures that are appropriate. And, you know, honestly, I also really love a little bit of lime juice in this. I think lime goes really well with it. So I'm just going to add a touch of lime juice on top. So now it's ready to enjoy. This is great for a special occasion. Again, it's very nourishing and every ingredient in it is health-giving. So this is something that's creamy and rich and really satisfying for those evenings when you just need something a little bit more than your average light fare. And perhaps it could be a great meal, fast and easy meal for your friends and family when you want to invite them over for something raw, vegan, but something satisfying, rich, and really special.